Hi, everyone. Welcome and thanks for joining us today for our fireside chat, From Data to Dollars, Maximizing Business Impact Through Automated Financial Reporting. We're so excited to have two of our customers join us today to share their story and insights and how they moved from manual to automated financial reporting to get better data transparency and visibility into their businesses. Today, having instant access to your financial data is crucial for business growth and success. Without it, it's hard for any business owner to navigate complexities and competition in any industry. If you're a business owner still using Excel spreadsheets to crunch numbers or doing reporting in some manual way, today's session will help you gain new insights on how to move away from that to achieve real-time financial reporting. So, before I jump into this hot topic, I want to share some housekeeping items. This webinar will be recorded and a video link will be emailed to all registrants after the session. Towards the end of the session, we'll have an audience Q&A, so submit your questions throughout the fireside chat and we'll address them in the end. To submit questions, you can just click on the Q&A button in your menu bar. Okay, so I'd like to start off this fireside chat by introducing myself and our speakers. My name is Darlynn Sharpe. I'm a CPA and the manager of accounting success here at Docyt. I'm the head of onboarding, and I also lead a team of accounting success managers whose goal it is to make our customers have the best possible experience while using our platform. I'm excited to turn it over to Vipul and Mark for them to introduce themselves and tell you all a little bit about each of them. Vipul, would you like to take it away?
Sounds good. Thank you very much. So my name is Vipul, president of VNR Management. We are a hospitality management and development company.
Awesome. Mark?
I'm Mark. Nice to meet you all. Founder of Gose LLP. It's a CPA firm based in California. And we primarily focus on providing outsourced CFO and accounting services.
Great.
So, Darlynn, real quickly, I'd like to tell you how Mark and I met real quickly. So I needed to get stuff as we got big, as my wife and I got a little bit bigger. I wanted to unload some of my duties on my job description, especially on the financial side. And so I sent a search out to go, to interview some, Mark, close your ears. I interviewed some people, and Mark was one of them. And then I ended up choosing Mark because, his affiliation with Docyt helped me in order to close, make the onboarding process a lot shorter. I didn't have to teach somebody else about Docyt because Mark already knew about Docyt. So Mark and I work closely together now.
Yeah, that's a great point. Mark is actually one of Docyt's partners. And so we're very happy you all met and can work together and have Docyt be your intermediary. Okay.
Appreciate that.
With that, let's go ahead and get over to the questions. So the first question I think is a good one for people to answer. And it is, what role does data and insights play in your business growth?
Oh man, without data, this is a simple one. Without data, we can't make decisions as business owners. It's needed for budget, for forecasting. It's needed just to forecast. It's needed for growth actually, because that's what we want to do. You want to make a profit. So I use all kinds of advanced reporting features that we're going to talk about here today in Docyt.
Awesome. Mark, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think that I would second that for what Vipul said.
Perfect. And Vipul, to follow up on that, what were the challenges you needed to solve before Docyt's advanced reporting?
Oh man, we touched on that a little bit earlier, which is I was doing stuff manually, and I was using QuickBooks and Excel. And roughly, if I had to average once a week, it would probably be 10 hours a week I was spending personally on financials for one particular hotel. And then I was like, man, there has to be a more efficient way, more better way use of my time, because I wanted to focus on bigger things, not like expense management, not like advanced report AP, AR. I didn't want to focus on all that. I wanted to do higher level stuff. So 10 hours a week is what I spent. And now with Docyt, I probably spend 10 hours a month. So all that time now I'm using for sales, for marketing and stuff like that. So that was the biggest challenge is getting from the manual process into the automated side.
Wow, that's
It-
awesome to hear.
I guess just to elaborate on that, yeah, for my practice, I mean, I think there's a huge need for standardization. So as Vipul mentioned, just having reliance on Excel and QuickBooks to try to glean insights on, business metrics. I mean, it's just not the most efficient way to go about it. And so, my practice was looking for options to try to automate things and make things more efficient. And so Docyt came across our radar, and it's been phenomenal for us and just game changer in terms of time savings, just like Vipul said.
Great. So I think the next question, either one of you can answer. It's along the same lines of you were speaking about being manual. Can you tell me what other reporting solutions you've tried before and why they didn't work?
Mark?
Sure. So yeah, without, prior to Docyt, all of our clients have different accounting platforms, whether it's Xero or QuickBooks. And then, of course, we use Excel for certain data analysis. We've got different payroll systems. So it becomes very non-standardized when you have all these systems in the mix. Hence why we look to Docyt to try to centralize a lot of this. So the advantages of using Docyt is, particularly with regard to the advanced reporting, which is the main focus of this presentation, is to centralize information beyond QuickBooks in a very streamlined way. So it's connecting your bookkeeping platform to other types of platforms to then create a meaningful dashboard for owners to make informed decisions. So prior to that, it's just pulling from all these different sources, putting it into Excel. And then the other challenge is information often changes. You might go into QuickBooks and make adjustments. Now you have to remember to go back into your Excel file and update it so you have the most recent information. So having Docyt, that goes away because you're getting near real time and current information.
So Mark, you touched on some of the stuff that I used. I used to use, Excel and QuickBooks. One thing I want to add is that regarding Docyt is, which we haven't talked about today, was the AI feature, right? It's great to have AI to make it more efficient in terms of the financial world.
Yeah, that's a great point, Vipul. I think we'll get more into the AI later too as well. And I wanted to touch on one point, Mark, that you said about the manual manipulation of, if anything changes in your raw data, then you're kind of chasing your tail a little bit, having to go back and redo your reports that you've downloaded to Excel. So I bet that could be pretty time consuming. Okay. So switching gears a little bit, Vipul, I understand that you switched to Docyt standardized USALI chart of accounts. Could you tell me a little bit about the benefits of making the switch to USALI? And for those of you that don't know, I'll just say that stands for Uniform System of Accounts for the Lodging Industry.
Yeah, so I switched about a year ago, and the reason why I switched is because my hotel financial coach told me to switch, and it made perfectly good sense, which is it's a universal standard, right, for accounting practices in all of lodging industry. So what that does is it helps. It's a standard. So if I was to sell my hotel, if I was to buy another hotel, if my lender wanted some information, if I wanted to find out industry standards, for my city, for this United States, having a set standard, it was probably one of the biggest reasons why I switched is that now all these players could easily look at my books and be like, okay, this is where this goes. Okay, there's no questions asked. Everything was simple right there in a universal standard that everybody could know and understand.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think I would agree. I would recommend anyone that anytime someone can conform their business to an industry standard, that they do it. It's so many benefits that you mentioned.
It took me about 6 months, FYI, just to let you know. I don't know if that's the actual, like a standard, like if that's the actual time it takes, but it took me, just to let everybody know, 6 months to switch over to USALIA.
Yeah, that's great to point out as well for setting everyone's expectations.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark, do you want to take this next one of what made you decide to try Docyt's advanced reporting over other reporting solutions?
Well, I touched on this a little bit. It's just they make it easy in that there's a direct connection with the other software programs that are giving you operational metrics. For example, in the case of Vipul in the hospitality space, Docyt's been able to create a direct connection with his hotel management platform. So otherwise, you're not going to be able to get that information within a QuickBooks. So within Docyt, you get your core financials, but then you're also getting information from the hotel management system. So the analysis you can do extends way beyond what you could do in Excel or QuickBooks, in that you're looking at occupancy, revenue per room, cost per room, profit margin per room. These are all very meaningful and help you make good decisions about your business. And I guess the other point to add is the multi-entity accounting application within the platform. So QuickBooks, as you probably are aware, lacks that feature. So if you are a hotel manager or own multiple franchises, you're creating separate instances of those books in QuickBooks, but you don't have a great way of viewing the information all together, like in a consolidating format. So Docyt has rolled out a multi-entity feature where it makes viewing that information and all the underlying, operational metrics easy. So that's been a phenomenal platform.
That's great. Yeah, I think if you multiply how much time you're spending on one business, imagine business owners who have a huge portfolio having to do all this manual work and then reconsolidate. So if it's all automatically updated when something changes, I could definitely see the benefits of that.
And then, real quickly, Darlynn, to add to that, let's say, like, for example, in my instance, I have a hotel management company, right? And if I wanted to have individual hotels reporting and then also have a consolidated reporting, that's something that can't be done on QuickBooks, and at least I don't think so. And you can do it within Docyt's consolidated reporting feature. Yeah,
that's a great point as well. Okay, Vipul, do you want to take this next one? Can you provide some examples of how you're leveraging the reports today? How are your stakeholders using it, your employees, anything like that?
Oh man, I got a great example. So for the first time in my life, I've actually shared my financial data to my managers, to my manager in particular at this one hotel. Man, you should just saw my dad's face when he's like, "You're doing what? Yeah, you just share all your financial information?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm gonna try it out because that's what my hotel financial coach said." So, anyways, within Docyt, we created a separate, I guess, user permission setting where my manager could go in and see everything above gross profit. He doesn't necessarily see the bottom line that I'm taking home, but we set up the reporting to where he could see everything above gross profit. Let's think about that for a second. If he's the manager at the hotel, he's in control of a lot of those things, right? Above the gross profit, he's control room expenses. He controls labor. He controls all these things. So why not share with him, get him as a stakeholder in the progress of your financial status for your hotel, right? Get him involved. So I also set my bonuses based on, his gross profit index, for example. So, and if he could see that, now he can make adjustments. He could hire less labor. Maybe he watches out for room expenses and I totally was not looking. So it's just another set of eyes for me that helped me out. It's been great. I would recommend everybody to do it. You'd be surprised at how much collaboration you get versus just holding information back in and then hey, manager, do this, do that. Hey, expenses were high. He's like, what? Expenses were high? He doesn't even know. But I use Docyt to help me with that for KPIs and for reporting.
Awesome. Mark, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think it's just helpful having the near real-time information that, as I mentioned before, extends beyond what you get in QuickBooks. It's great to have the balance sheet, income statement, but if you really want to manage your business effectively, understanding the operational side of things or getting that information timely is crucial. So knowing what's my occupancy, again, I go back to the hotel example. As Vipul mentioned, what's my revenue profit margin per room? I mean, we've got a dashboard, we call it, I think, the operator statement within Docyt, where you're getting these metrics and they're coming direct from the hotel management system and syncing, pairing with the QuickBooks information. So it's been fantastic having that all centralized and at your fingertips. It's been a game changer for, the business owner and for the professional.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you both for providing those insights. Now, I would like to take this time to go into Docyt's platform and provide a live demonstration and show you all exactly what Vipul and Mark were talking about when they referred to Docyt's advanced reporting capabilities. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so before we jump into it, I just want to set the stage to give those who might not be as familiar with Docyt some insight into how these reports are generated. Docyt is an AI-powered end-to-end bookkeeping automation software providing real-time accounting to growing businesses. For this demonstration, I would like to note that we are using a demo account with fake data that is meant to look real. We'll be going through an example of what our hospitality advanced reports look like so that we can tie everything back into the points that Vipul has shared so far as a hotel owner. But I just want to let everyone know that Docyt does offer advanced reporting for other verticals besides hospitality with customized industry-specific metrics. In order to get real-time reporting, you need to have several systems talking to each other at one time. This is where Docyt's ability to automate all of your accounting workflows comes in. Docyt connects to several point of sale and revenue systems and will post from the PMS or POS system to your general ledger daily. It also brings in both financial and non-financial data so that business owners can go beyond the standard profit and loss report and get access to important KPIs and metrics in a centralized location with no manual data entry or manipulation. Docyt also uses machine learning and generative AI to automatically categorize banking transactions and reconcile them with uploaded supporting documents in real time. So now that you have a better picture of how data from all your accounting-based sources flows into the reports, let's take a closer look at the reporting functionality. We're starting with the owner's operating statement, and each of these reports can be customized by date range. You can run reports on a monthly, quarterly, or year-to-date basis. And as everyone has mentioned earlier, by connecting to property management systems and point of sale systems, Docyt can automatically bring in the data needed to calculate important KPIs for a specific industry. So you'll see at the top of this report here that there are several summary line items, including occupancy percentage, ADR, which means average daily rate, and RevPAR, which means revenue per available room. You can further customize this report by showing the data on a per available room or per occupied room basis by line item. So when you click that button that I just clicked, it'll just add a column here that shows the calculated amounts. Additionally, you can show your budget as well along and see very quickly if you're on track by looking at the budget variance. The beauty of all this is that when something changes in your revenue system or bank account, the data automatically updates in this central location, and there's no need to download the reports to Excel and manually calculate RevPAR or compare your budget versus actual. It's all done for you. Okay, before we go out of this report, I just want to point out that you can drill down into each of these lines all the way to a receipt, invoice, banking transaction, or revenue report. So as Vipul touched on earlier, another great feature of Docyt's report is the sharing functionality. If you're a hotel owner who wants to tie a general manager's bonus to gross operating profit, but you don't want your employees to see the bottom line, you can just share the operator's operating statement very easily, and this report only goes down to gross operating profit. Additionally, if you have department heads that need visibility into their spending, you can go into the departmental report section and just share their respective departmental report with them. We don't have time to go into every feature of budgeting today, but I just wanted to show you at a high level what you can do. You can create multiple budgets based on different scenarios. And if you're looking for a quick analysis, there is an autofill feature to autofill the budget using the prior period and increase everything across the board by a certain percentage. I find that feature really useful. Finally, if you're someone who prefers to look at your financials from a bird's eye view, we have a newly released feature called the Financial Insights Dashboard. And we actually had a webinar on this a few weeks back, and we will drop the link of the recording into the chat in case you want to learn more about this feature since we don't have time today. But I just wanted to tie it all together and show you that you can get as granular as you want with Docyt. For example, you could quickly glance at all of these charts and notice that your expenses seemed a little high in April. You can click into any of the graphs and see a prior period comparison and drill down into the report and actually see where that data is coming from. I don't want to spend too much time in the product because we still have a few more questions with Vipul and Mark to get through before we jump into the audience Q&A. But if you want to learn more about all of the cool features that we have with reporting and financial insights, we'll be sure to share contact information at the end of the webinar. Okay, so let's get back to the fireside chat. Get my questions back up. Okay, so now that we just showed a little bit about Docyt's automating reporting, Vipul, could you give some insight into what results you saw by making the switch and what impact did these results have on your business?
Let's skip the business, man. With all the time that I saved, my golf game has improved. That's for sure. But no, to be serious though, it made things more efficient for us. If we need to pivot, if we need to turn, we have real-time financial data where we can do that. What business does not need to pivot or turn? So I can tell you that, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this in the next questions. But for me, it's been a game changer.
Okay. Mark, do you have anything to add to that one?
I can't say my golf game has improved much, but it may never. Yeah, as people mentioned, time savings, it's been huge, and it's just allowed me and my practice to focus more on, value add activities for our clients, just less on manually intensive work and getting things in Excel and pulling things from different systems and updating that's gone away. So yeah, major efficiency for my practice.
Great. Okay, so Vipul, this one's for you. I think you touched on AI a little bit earlier, but now that you're using a solution like Docyt, using AI to power your accounting workflows and financial reporting, what's your perspective on adopting AI-powered solutions?
AI is, whether we like it or not, I believe that AI is going to be the future. I don't think it's necessarily going to replace like an actual human being. Like not everything's going to replace the actual human being. But I do think AI will make things more efficient. I 100% believe that. Actually, I gave all my staff a challenge in each department: social media, financial, Mark over here, operations, my manager. I gave everybody a challenge, like in 2024, come up with one AI program or device or something AI related that you could use to help your job be more efficient. So we're heavily investing AI because I believe it's going to be the future.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think AI is here to stay and that you need to adopt it in your business to stay competitive and improve efficiencies.
Yeah.
Mark, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. It's here to stay. I think we need to embrace it. It's like people was saying, I don't think it's intended to really replace people. I think it's just to enhance your current positions, make things easier for you, eliminate the mundane, tedious tasks. There's just so many benefits to it. So, and Docyt already has that AI functionality built into it for the categorizations and bank reconciliation. So that's been huge for efficiency.
Awesome. And Mark, do you have any practical tips and advice you can give the audience that are looking to leverage automated financial reporting solutions?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something you just jump into. Change is never easy. I mean, we work with such a wide range of businesses that have so many different systems like QuickBooks Desktop and all these other platforms where it's like, well, is this compatible? Which is very normal to have that kind of reservation about adopting something like Docyt. But, I can assure you from my personal experience, and I know Vipul can attest to this, Docyt makes onboarding very easy. It's a good price point. So I think it's something you try it out, see if it's a good fit for your business.
Vipul, do you have anything to add?
I would say, and I've said this before, If you're doing it manually, 100% make the switch, because believe me that time, efficiencies, your business, your people, everything will be so much easier, especially if you're doing it manually.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Okay, so we've had several questions come into the chat. So let's jump over to the audience Q&A. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so the first question is for Vipul, and it is, what was your criteria for choosing a solution like Docyt?
I think I mentioned this before, but which was, as we got bigger, as my wife got bigger, we had a preschool. We have, by the way, which is on Docyt as well. So we talk about different industries. I have my coaching and consulting practice on Docyt as well. Again, different industry. And then another thing we have is the rental homes that we own. So that's also on Docyt. So all these different industries are able to be, I know we're talking about hospitality today, but all these different industries can be on Docyt. And so as we got bigger, as I was saying, as we got bigger, I just needed to unload. I needed to make things more efficient. I needed to make things easier. I needed to have AI. At that time, 2 years ago, AI was just like, oh, AI. And then here comes Docyt with AI financial accounting. I'm like, oh, let me look into this. And so I did, and we did a demo, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a no-brainer for us, because just the time and the efficiency and money. People might think. Initially, I thought it was expensive. My monthly subscription, I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but initially I thought it was expensive. But then looking back at it, like, I think they undercharged me. I mean, no, don't take that. I know you work for Docyt, but yeah, I know. But yeah, it saved me money 10 times, just being how efficient it was and how easy it was.
That's great. That actually brings us to another question that we got was, did the switching over to Docyt result in any cost savings or time savings? And I think you pretty much answered that one right then. Mark, do you have anything to add to either of those questions that we just went through?
Yeah, there's no doubt major time savings for me. It's hard to quantify, but dozens of hours a month, just save not having to be in the weeds and be manually doing things. So, and it's allowed, my practice, and it's true for any business owner on this platform, to focus on the value add stuff and really just leverage the data to make better decisions about your business. So, yeah, it's been huge.
Great. And another one that's come through, I think, Mark, you can answer this one, of from a CPA's perspective. What advice do you have for business owners who are looking to get more out of their profit and loss reports? For example, those who might not come from a financial background and aren't in the reports day to day. Where should they start? Where should they look?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about Docyt is there's a lot of standardization already built into the platform, even industry specific modules. So they make it, pretty easy for you to, without much accounting experience, to get up and running on the platform. And then, in addition to that, you get a dedicated account manager to help guide you through these steps. And of course, they partner with people like myself. So if there is a need for more high level service, technical accounting, financial analysis, they can help tee that up for you with a partner.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for mentioning that partner program, Mark. That's a great plug right there. Okay, so following along with that, with any new solution, it's not easy to implement in general or make changes, to your processes that you have. Could you all speak a little bit about what the onboarding process was like with Docyt? Mark, do you want to start?
Sure, I can start. Yeah, so they assign you a dedicated rep. You go through a training. It's all very intuitive. The platform is built in a user-friendly way where someone without much accounting experience, I think, can understand it pretty quickly. And then, there's a good support network. There's a large service team that Docyt provides to troubleshoot questions with you. And then, through the partner program, you can get any, higher level service as well.
Okay. One other question that we've had come through is, can Docyt handle cash basis accounting or accrual based accounting? Mark, do you have insights?
Yeah, either way. So the gold standard is the accrual basis, but there's plenty of businesses we work with that are cash basis as well. So the functionality is there for both basis of accounting.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that as well of that, we have our expense management offering, which would record your expenses on accrual basis. And then the revenue accounting we spoke to earlier about connecting to those revenue systems, whether it be POS systems or property management systems, are also recorded on an accrual basis. Awesome. All right, well, I think that is all of the questions we have for now. Let's go ahead and close it out. If you're interested in learning more about Docyt's real-time business reports, you can do so by scanning this QR code to schedule time with our experts. Our experts are happy to walk you through Docyt's end-to-end platform. And if you're a customer and you would like to know how you can take advantage of these reports, you can contact your accounting manager, or your account manager, excuse me. And for the questions that we weren't able to get to today, we will have someone from our team follow up to make sure your questions are answered after this session. Thank you again for joining us today. I'd also like to thank our guest speakers, Vipul and Mark, for taking the time to share their story and advise around how to move to automated financial reporting to maximize business impact, whether it be getting better data visibility and transparency across your business, or for faster decision-making. It's crucial for businesses to get real-time reporting to stay ahead of the curve. Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you.